Evening again, vinyl community. It's Rob back again. Yeah, very quickly because I need to get this one in before I've had too much to drink, because I've done these videos before and been mortally embarrassed by them and had to take them down because I've watched them and thought, nah, that ain't working. That's not happening. But yeah, I really want to do this one because I know there's a lot of competition videos going around at the moment. People celebrating, milestones in subscriptions in the VC, which is, obviously very important. And, we all like to be loved, like to be acknowledged for, our efforts and what we do, because, obviously everybody works, our time's precious. We want to spend as much time as possible listening to the vinyl that we buy, but also contributing to the VC, which is also very important, and is a lifeblood of we all appreciate it and love the content and feed off it. It's inspirational, and there's a lot of people out there that share such fantastic content and stuff that's really inspiring, and I could just spend all my available free time watching these videos, but unfortunately there's so much, there wouldn't be any time for anything else. So everything in moderation, and you have to kind of prioritize stuff. So but anyway, I stumbled across a guy called Brad from H2Vinyl. Lovely guy, really honest, very genuine guy, got great taste, very eclectic taste, which is always nice to see, interesting. You never know what he's going to show, and I really like that, and recognize that as as something that's really nice to to follow, and yeah, he's just surpassed 350 subscriptions, which is really impressive. So congratulations, Brad, to that, for that. Very well done indeed. Interesting the way that they actually put it as 350, and has obviously put together a contest based around those numbers. I don't know whether he's an aficionado of numerology or anything like that, but I thought that was intriguing and caught my attention anyway. So, but yeah. So I thought I'd have a go at this because I do like the old VC competitions, and I do try and contribute to them where I can. So, okay. So he's put 3 questions together, which I'd like to have a go at answering. And the first question is, share 3 albums celebrating narration in your music collection. Okay, now I had to think a little bit about this one, because I thought, well, how many albums do I have in my collection that actually that have narration in them? The first one I thought of was actually Peter and the Wolf, which was an album that my dad used to have, and I used to listen to when I was a kid, which is obviously Sergei Prokofiev, and it was Richard Baker who was actually narrating that, but I don't have that anymore, so I couldn't show that. So the next one that sprung to mind was this one, which is actually an album that I showed the other night, on one of my videos. This is Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Obviously, yeah, I mean, this is just frighteningly scary stuff. You know, you've got the wonderful narration of course, Richard Burton, the great Richard Burton, on this, who just, to say he adds gravitas to this album is a understatement. Yeah, amazing. You know, just totally holds your attention all the way through. Incredible depth of feeling and foreboding, you know, that he keeps with his dulcet tones on this album. So yeah, that's definitely my first choice of narration, which is Richard Burton narrating on Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Okay, now the next one, they're a little bit more spurious and possibly a bit of a cheat, but I went for this one, which is Alice Cooper's first solo album after he split with the Alice Cooper Band. This is Welcome to My Nightmare. Great album, always like this. Yeah, the reason I'm putting this into this is because there's a special guest star on here, which is Vincent Price. And he, yeah, definitely adds spice to this album on The Black Widow, when he's the curator and he's, you know, obviously taking you through the nightmare scenario, which is, you know, speaking about the spiders and their various poisonous and lethal, ever more lethal. Yeah. Anyway, it's scary stuff anyway, isn't it? So, but yeah, I'd say that's, you know, he's narrating on this, and that's my second choice, which is Vincent Price, and that's Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare. Okay. And the third one I'm going for is the wonderful Viv Stanshall, or Vivian Stanshall, as he's better known. And he was a member of the Bonzo Dog Doobdah Band, and a wonderful, eccentric character, superb songwriter and lyricist. And Mike Oldfield very wisely used him to become the master of ceremonies on this album. Of course, his classic Tubular Bells. And he introduces all the instruments at the end of this on part one. So yeah, I'd say he's a pretty good narrator, and you know, yeah. So that's my third entry for that question. Okay. Second question, share 5 albums you haven't shared ever or in a long while with the VC. Okay. Well, I've decided to, because I haven't been in the VC for very long, only a couple of months, so chances are I probably wouldn't have shared anything more than once. But I just picked out some albums that I really, really love and I've never shown before. So first one is Roxy Music's debut. I absolutely love this album. This is the first album I actually heard by Roxy Music, and it remains an absolute favourite to this day. yeah, Brian Eno's contribution on this can't be underestimated. You know, Ladytron, If There Is Something, 2HB, Remake, Remodel. Oh, you know, just every track is superb on this. Probably, as is their, as far as I'm concerned, their first 5 albums up to Siren. You know, just wonderful. Again, just very, very unique pop. You know, between these guys and David Bowie, they really reshaped, you know, the pop landscape of the early 70s. And it was never really the same again afterwards. So, yeah, wonderful album. Next one is probably my favorite by this artist. This is Bert Jansch and Birthday Blues. Fantastic album. Paid a lot of money for this. This is an original transatlantic UK pressing, but every single song on this is just utterly superb. Yeah, Come Sing Me a Happy Song to Prove We Can All Get Along the Lumpy Bumpy Long and Dusty Road, Tree Song, Woman Like You, Promised Land, Birthday Blues. Just wonderful, wonderful stuff from arguably one of the greatest guitarists that the UK has ever produced. Superb. Yeah, wonderful stuff. My third choice is this one, a classic one from the Canterbury set. This is Caravan in the Land of Grey and Pink, 1971. Wonderful, wonderful album. I actually prefer side 1 on this. I know side 2's called 9 Feet Underground, which is a sort of 20-minute piece, prog piece, which is very good. But the songs on side 1 are just wonderful. Golf Girl, and the Winter Wine, the track in the Land of Grey and Pink, Pigs Could Fly. Superb, superb stuff. Even better on this, when I bought this, which was a long time ago, I actually got a program in it from In Concert from 1975. So yeah, really, really happy for that. A bit of advert for Curved Air there as well. Yeah, this was the great thing about buying vinyl in the 1980s, when, you know, nobody gave a shit about it, basically. That you could pick up things like this and at rock bottom prices. I think I paid about £3 for this, and it's in just minty VG Plus condition. And I mean, I don't know, the program I'm sure would have added value to it, but you know, this has got to be worth 60, 70 quid, I would have thought, in today's money. So not that I would ever sell it, because it's a wonderful record. And yeah, so that's Caravan in the Land of Grey and Pink. Next one is probably my favorite album from the 1980s. This is ABC's Lex Kind of Love. I'm a huge fan of Trevor Horn. I think he's one of the greatest auteurs, producers of 1980s pop music, and absolutely transformed the production values of records from the early mid-80s onwards. Obviously he was in the Buggles. I have both of their studio albums. They're wonderful. This one was he was into rock music. He wasn't into soul or dance music, and Martin Fry apparently took him out to nightclubs to make him listen to soul and northern soul music and so on, to give him a feel for what it was that he wanted to actually create on this album. And yeah, that couldn't have given him a better, you know, a better education, because the results of that produced this absolutely wonderful album. I mean, just so many great tracks on this. My favorite probably Valentine's Day. I mean, that's just incredible. The sound on that, superb, absolutely wonderful. But yeah, not a bad song on this. Next one I'm going to show is one of these 2-for albums. I would love to get the originals of these albums, but they're prohibitively expensive, and usually monocopies from the 60s, and you know, 70-80 pound a copy. But this is The Move, Roy Wood's band, of course, from the 60s, and this is the first 2 albums. This is The Move, and then Shazam, which is the second album from 68. But yeah, absolutely superb. Roy Wood, one of the greatest, most creative songwriters, artists that the Midlands, Birmingham in particular, has ever produced, and still continues to be an influence to this day. He's still performing. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. So yeah, those are my 5 that I've never shown before. Okay, so the third question: share at least a shout out for a group or artist that you have no items in your collection. Okay, I don't have anything on vinyl for the 90s group Supertramp, Supergrass, which I really, really like. I have a CD of Nevermind, In It for the Money, which is just fantastic. But I'd love to get a vinyl copy of that album, particularly the first release of that, because it came with a bonus CD with a lot of extra tracks, and it just absolutely just you know, just captured the band at their absolute peak. But you know, with 90s pressings being the way that they are, you know, very few actually produced. If you do see them, they'd be horrendously expensive. So I'm probably not going to pick up one anytime soon, but that would be really, really nice to do that. So anyway, I've rambled on for far too long once again, as I always do on my videos. But Brad, congratulations again on your 350 subs. I took an inventory of your subs now, actually. I think you're up to about 385, so you're doing really, really well, mate. And yeah, but yeah, you deserve it, because you're a great guy. And yeah, I hope you continue to be to get more and more. And yeah, all the best to you. But yeah, that's it. So that's the end of my video for tonight. Take care, guys, and I'll speak to you again really, really soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.